Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody? Hope everyone is doing good. Glad to have y'all here for another update, my friends. So yeah, we're kicking up here with the latest information regarding Hurricane Cracker Barrel. That's once again the official name I've given it here is Hurricane Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel is not looking too much different than it did earlier on our live stream. Still sustained at 60 with gusts up to 70. Pressure's still the same at 997. But here's the thing, y'all. We got a new set of models and a new set of data coming through, including rainfall data. We got ourselves a new forecast regarding rainfall. Storm surge has gone up, as well as, let's see here. Yeah, the overall totals have definitely shifted quite a bit. We'll get into that here in a second. But anyways, my friends, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Let's see who we got here. We have Tiffany. We have Braven. We have ourselves Lots. We have Annie. Let's see here. We have our Delta Trading. Hope you're doing good, my friend. We have Samuel. We have Chris. We have Xavier. We have Legacy. And, of course, everybody else who is not chatting but joining us here this evening. Hope everyone is doing well. What's up, Roland? Hope you're doing good, my friend. So, anyway, so here's the storm. This is Beryl currently. The latest convection seems to have halted for a minute. You can see how that the cloud temperature has gone down a bit. We had ourselves a lot of strong convection here. Several scans back, you can see that the storm was really convecting there towards near the center. The center is a little bit on the southeastern side, but you can see out there near the center we had some convection going on, and then kind of went silent. But that's typical. That's normal for these tropical systems. It's not weakening. It's just, like I said, it's just trying to get a hold of itself again. There is a little bit of dry air, like I was mentioning here, y'all, on that south portion of the storm. There's a bit of dry air going on out here, which this is kind of hurting the overall development, the overall strengthening of the storm here. So it's really not allowing the storm to really pick up too crazy in terms of strength as of today. However, as we turn into tomorrow morning, we're going to go into more conducive conditions for gradual development. So basically what that is saying here is that, you know, as we continue into tomorrow morning, we're going to have ourselves the system actually pick up some strength here. And the reason is because that dry air that's currently getting under the storm should be gone, and we should start to get some of that moisture from the left-hand side starting to go into the right-hand side of the storm. We'll look at that here when we look at the models overall. But anyways, y'all, so one of the biggest things here with this update compared to last is that they finally issued hurricane warnings. Tropical storm warnings are in place, hurricane warnings are in place, and we have some of those inland warnings. So let's go and talk about that a little bit. First of all, I'm going to remove the cone so I can actually click on these areas here without it just saying Beryl. So anyway, so Corpus Christi, you guys out there are under a hurricane warning. Hurricane conditions is expected out there by Corpus Christi. We got ourselves Corpus Christi Bay included. We have Arkansas Pass, and these are all areas in hurricane warnings, by the way. Arkansas Pass, Port Arkansas, Rockport, Fulton, Woodsboro. This is all in Texas. This is out there by Refugo, I think it is, maybe. Let's see here. San Antonio Bay. We have ourselves places out there towards Lavaca, I think it is. Lavaca, I'm not too sure. We have Point Comforts. We have Indianola. We also have areas out there by the East Matagorda Bay, included, like Edna. Victoria is one of the big ones here that's actually inside of the area there. Did I say Arkansas Pass? Well, I'm sorry. We got Bay City out there as well. Markham and Laward. You guys are Laward, I think it is. You all are under the hurricane warning. So hurricane conditions is expected all the way into areas out there. Like I said, very important, like Victoria. Victoria is a pretty populated little town here. We got quite a few people that live out there in Victoria. So Victoria is currently under hurricane warnings out there. Okay, so hurricane warnings is in place for those regions. We do got some tropical storm warnings that have been issued out there by Houston for the Galveston Bay. We do got tropical storm warnings in place out there kind of for the eastern outskirts of Houston. We have tropical storm warnings as well. So that is that, and those go all the way up here to the north out there by like Winnie and Stowell, Texas. Basically, they're for portions of the northern coast of Texas. Is where those tropical storm warnings are overall. Tropical storm warnings go all the way down, including areas out there by like Shiner, Hallettsville. Let's see here, out there by like Beeville. And then it goes all the way down there towards like Kingsville, Texas, Robstown, Texas. And then, of course, we get our way towards like the coast out there, just near Brownsville, kind of, toward Port Isabel, South Padre Island. Some of those areas down in South Texas, they are under tropical storm warnings out there, where tropical storm conditions is expected. So, tropical storm force winds range between 40 miles an hour, between 40 and up to 74. That is tropical storm force. So between 40 and 74 mile per hour winds, that is tropical storm force winds. And 75 plus is considered hurricane force winds. So we are expecting 75 plus mile an hour winds out there in these areas here, as these are our hurricane warnings that is in place out there for portions along the east central side here of Texas. Now, like I said, overall the storm surges and all that stuff has actually gone up in activity. We do have ourselves some higher surges expected, so let's go ahead and hop over here to the surge map here. We're going to take a look at that regarding the latest outlook and stuff. Here's the latest outlook regarding the surge map. We do got ourselves now 4 to 6 foot of storm surge expected. First of all, they added a little area down here in Louisiana. Actually expected to see a little bit of surging between Cameron and Sublime Pass. 1 to 3 foot of storm surge, so 1 to 3 foot of ocean water above sea level is expected as the storm rolls through. It's going to be pushing some of that water inland, so 1 to 3 foot above sea level is expected. So then from Sublime Pass to High Island, 2 to 4 foot of storm surge. Now they did update it towards the Galveston Bay. Earlier it was 2 to 4, but now it's up to 3 to 5. So 3 to 5 foot of storm surge out there by the Galveston Bay, out there between High Island and Sargent. You guys are under the, like I said, you guys are under the surge here for 3 to 5 foot overall. Now, actually, we do have storm surge warnings in place. We'll get to those here after this. And then, of course, we go from Sargent to Mesquite Bay. I'm not too sure how you say that area there. But out there towards the Matagorda Bay, we are talking about 4 to 6 foot of storm surge. From the Mesquite, I'm not too sure on how you pronounce that overall, but we are expecting 3 to 5 foot out there towards Corpus Christi Bay. From the mouth of the Rio Grande up there towards north entrance of Padre Island, that is where we are seeing 2 to 4 foot overall of surges out there. So that's the latest surge map. Now, we're going to go ahead and hop on over here, y'all. We're going to take a look at those warnings that's in place out there. So let's go ahead and jump on over there. We're going to look at those storm surge warnings and storm surge watches that we have in place here. So let's go ahead and hop to that now. So whenever it comes to it, let's go ahead and get rid of that data there for now. Whenever it comes to it, we have storm surge watches in effect out there for basically the southern portion here of Texas. This does include like Brownsville, South Padre Island, like we were talking about overall. those do get upgraded to storm surge warnings. Storm surge warnings all the way from Corpus Christi, following all the way up the coast out there towards Port Lavaca, I think it is. Going through Freeport, Lake Jackson area, up into Galveston and the Galveston Bay. And this thing goes all the way up to as far to the north as High Island. That is where the top of those storm surge warnings are at. So storm surge warnings basically meaning that, yeah, we are expecting water to come inland above sea level, which, at maximum, like we were talking out there towards the Matagorda Bay, possibly right around 4 to 6 foot above sea level is expected. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem for the people on the coast there overall. What's up, Dogman? Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Pelicans? Hope you're doing all right. Let's see. What's up, Lots? What's up, Roland? Let's see. What's up, Legacy? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. Olympic says thank you so much for all you do. You're very welcome. I'm glad to help out, my friend. Definitely glad to help out. Glad to be here, y'all. Just want to help you guys out. But yeah, so like I was mentioning, yeah, that's where the storm surge warnings are in place. We also do have another storm surge watch in effect for the areas out there by Port Arthur, out there by Sabine Pass. Did somebody say it was something different? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Is it Sabine Pass? I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's up there in the far northern coast there of Texas. That is where the storm surge watches are. But yeah, so that's the blue there. That's storm surge warnings. This kind of green color is storm surge watches. So warnings mean to take action because these conditions are expected. Basically, the green is saying to be on alert because those conditions are possible overall. Sabine. Oh, okay, Sabine. Is that right? Sabine, you're right. I didn't. Where did I get an L in that? I don't even know where I got an L in that. Anyway, so let's go up over to the rainfall forecast. So they really did update this, y'all. According to the Weather Prediction Center, we are expecting a good amount of rainfall out there. Here's the latest forecast regarding the rainfall potential. We are expecting a lot. Like I said, I'm going to bring up my pin here for you guys. Sabine. Interesting. All right, I appreciate it. So out there by Houston, we're expecting, right around 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. San Antonio could see 1 to 2. Waco, Texas, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. Dallas, 1 to 2 inches. Corpus Christi, 2 to 4 inches, but slightly to the north, it really goes up. So up at that point of landfall, so basically where that, where the landfall is taking place. We are expecting about maybe 8 to 12 inches of rainfall overall. So yeah, 8 to 12 inches would be a bit of a problem regarding rainfall out there. We have a couple little localized spots, some up there in the eastern and, the northeastern side of Texas, which, we could get up to, maybe some localized spots of 8 to 12, more of the inland areas. Now you've noticed we have more of an idea of what we can expect for rainfall for Arkansas. Kind of rhyme there. But we do have ourselves an area here throughout the central and southwestern side of Arkansas where we could see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain out there. Little Rock, we got 4 to 6 inches. And in the southwestern side, there's a possibility we could have anywhere from 6 to 8 inches being a possibility out there. So 6 to 8 inches up in the southwestern side of Arkansas does seem to be a possibility. Now, Oklahoma, OKC, Oklahoma City, we could see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. So we are expecting a little bit of rain out there as well. Southern Missouri, you can see starting to fade there, but we got southern Missouri, some places up there 2 to 4 inches. Same thing for like western Tennessee out there by Memphis, could see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Jackson could see up to 1 to 2 inches overall. So, I want to let you all know, though, that these rain totals are going to change as we get closer to the point of landfall. So take these with a grain of salt right now. Don't take these too serious. Just get an idea, of how much rain we potentially could see out of this here. Like I said, overall, it's it's not a guarantee, but it's a good range, at least from what we're knowing right now. Let's see. JW says leftovers are coming towards Indiana midweek. That is correct. Yes, yeah, because the landfall is expected to occur here for the morning of Monday. Monday morning is what we're expecting here. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a look at the cone. We're going to take a look at the latest guidance, y'all, regarding the system. So let's go ahead and jump on over to that, my friends. So we're going to bring you all over here to that view. So once again, right now, the storm is a tropical storm here. Sustained winds of 60 miles an hour, so constant winds of 60. with gusts up to 70. So we're in the tropical storm realm right now. So later on, for tomorrow morning, right around like I said, right around tomorrow morning there for like 2 a.m. Eastern, so 1 Central for you guys. We'll talk in a little bit more of a strengthened storm, so this thing is starting to pick up some activity here. It's supposed to start strengthening tonight. We are expecting, this thing to be, after midnight, sustained at 65 with gusts up to 75 miles an hour. Then, of course, as we approach in the the early afternoon here for tomorrow. So our next update. Here, I'll be live tomorrow early tomorrow afternoon. And there's a possibility here that we could, we could be seeing, like I said, maybe a hurricane strength at that point in time. We're talking maximum winds here of 75, maximum gusts up to 90, but sustained winds here of 75 overall. So that is kind of where we're going to be standing. So yeah, by the time of next update here overall, we are going to be seeing that potential there of this thing being a hurricane again. So then, of course, this thing works its way inland. We are talking, like I said, sustained winds here at, just before landfall here, right around like 2 o'clock in the morning for the 8th. We're talking sustained winds of 85 with gusts up to 105. Now, like I was mentioning here in past updates, and just based off of what I've been seeing here regarding, activity and stuff like that, whenever it comes to it here, we are expecting, or I personally think there's a possibility we could see low-end Cat 2 strength, if not upper-level Category 1. So either it's going to be an upper-level Category 1 upon landfall or a lower-end Cat 2. That's my opinion. That's what I believe, just based off of it having a little bit more water to work with than what we previously thought earlier. It's going to have a little bit more water to work with, and it really does seem like that dry air gets kicked out overall. So that will be, like I said, that will definitely be pretty, some pretty possible, I should really say, this is going to be pretty impactful regardless, is what I was trying to go with that. But yeah, so this thing's going to be upper level Cat 1 or lower Cat 2, I believe, as we make landfall. So landfall is going to be there for the morning, like I was mentioning, the morning of the 8th here. Then it's going to dig its way inland here for the afternoon. She'll be sustained at 70 miles an hour as she passes through areas just slightly east of Victoria. Then, of course, after that, it's just going to rapidly weaken. The center is going to go out there near College Station regarding the latest track here. So for the morning of the 9th, this thing is still set to be a tropical storm, a very weak tropical storm at this point out there by College Station. Sustained winds of 40 with gusts up to 50 overall. And then this thing will go out there near Tyler, Texas as a depression, and then just continue up to the northeast. Now, for my folks out there, y'all are probably wondering, you're probably nervous about all this. Don't worry about it too much. What this is basically just saying here is the center of that storm is set to go somewhere in these areas. At this point in time, the winds are going to be completely gone out of the storm. So don't let that worry you. Honestly, what you got to look out for in these areas here is maybe just some rain. There's going to be a bit of rainfall that's going to be a leftover of the system as this thing shoots northeast here once it gets dug inland. So that's what we need to look out for. That is what we need to overall look out there for regarding things. So that is that. We'll continue watching that. Once again, the updated rainfall totals is showing some areas 6 to 8 inches possible in southwest Arkansas, as well as 4 to 6 inches out there towards the areas here in the yellow, which we're going to hop over to that real quickly. In the yellow, which is showing that 4 to 6 inch realm towards like Little Rock, and once again 6 to 8 inches on that southwestern side. But we'll definitely keep an eye out there for it overall. Let's see here. See, AM says, how is it possible to have 165 people watching and only 65 thumbs up? People, stop being lazy and show some love. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do. Like I said, I'm just here to, I'm not here for the likes or the views, really. I mean, but I do want the word to get out there, so that's why we're here. I want to make sure you guys are weather aware. So, once again, I mean, if you want to, it would definitely help out, but, I'm not going to hold you against it. But anyways, y'all, all right, let's go ahead and hop over to some models. I do want to kind of explain what's going on here with the system here. What's going on with all of that activity, with all the dry air and stuff like that. So at the point in being right now, let's go ahead and hop you guys over there. You can already see it, but let's go ahead and zoom in here. So when it comes to it, you can actually see here how that south, in the eastern side there's a lot of brownish kind of tan color here. So this is actually showing us that there is a lot of low relative humidities throughout our atmosphere, not just ground level, This is a mixture between the ground level and upper level humidity. And we are seeing that there is a lot of dry air that's in place out there towards that southern and that eastern side of the storm. So what the problem with this is that there's not going to be any storm activity that's going to be able to develop hardly in this area. Whenever it comes to it, this area down here, like I was mentioning, has a hard time convecting, because there's a lot of dry air. Storms really need a lot of moisture in order to really get going. Which up in the northern and the northwestern quadrant in the western side of the storm here, you can see there's a lot of bluish kind of green color there. That is showing that we are seeing a lot of moisture, so there should be a lot of storms convecting in that environment. But for the south side, it's relatively dry, and that's going to really kind of, not allow for the storm to really get a hold of itself and not really develop, perfectly. But that's going to change. So as we work our way into tomorrow morning, like what I was saying, that's when we're going to start to see that strengthening. And the reason is because some of that moisture on that western side will get kind of shot up in the eastern side of the storm, which will allow for some convection to start occurring again out there on all sides of the storm. You need storms firing all around the center of the storm. If you have them on just one side, that's not going to allow for your storm to weaken, not going to allow for your storm to strengthen very much. That's kind of where we're at right now. That's why it's not really strengthening too much, is because we're dealing with dry air. But later on tonight, early tomorrow morning, we are going to start to see a lot of moisture starting to build back onto that eastern side of the storm, which is going to allow for more convection to start out there in those regions there, which should allow for the storm to overall start picking up some strength here overall. So that is the verdict. That is indeed what we are seeing here. So then we work away by sunrise. So this is right around 7 a.m. Central Time. Around this point in time, this model in particular, now take this with a grain of salt. Models aren't perfect, but this model kind of shows us in the upper 980 millibar range overall. So whenever it comes to it here, we could be up there in lower in Cat 1 stage according to the HWRF, and of course this model really has the storm. Wow, dude, that's really picked up in intensity since the last update. Okay, so according to things here, according to this latest model, this actually has it getting down into maybe the upper 960 realm or lower 970s. That's pretty strong pressure, and according to this model, it shows max sustained winds upon landfall is 86 knots. That would be right around Category 2. That would be near Cat 2, and that's what I was telling you guys, from the get-go. I think that this storm has potential to be a lower in Category 2 upon landfall. If not, it's going to be probably an upper level Category 1. So upper level Cat 1, lower in Category 2, that's the realm I think we're going to be upon landfall here for the morning of the 8th. Okay, so keep that in mind here. But yeah, so that's one model, and once again, going back over it, like I was saying, that dry air is really getting caught up on that eastern and southern side of the storm, in which, eventually this thing is going to regenerate itself overall, like I was mentioning. Later on tonight, so for early tomorrow morning, we're going to really start to see that moisture get caught back up on the eastern side of the cell or the storm there, and then it should be good from there on out. Now, of course, once it goes inland, all of its moisture is going to get detached from that main area of convection. I'm just spewing words here. I'm speaking too fast. Okay. So, the convection, the storm activity is going to be north of the central low. So, as we roll inland here, that's going to kind of detach from the main system. So, all that convection and all of that activity, all that thunderstorm activity is going to be relatively to the north as more dry air builds in overall. That's where I was going with that. And then, of course, like I said, for my folks up here, with the cone and everything like that, whenever it comes to it, this is not going to be much of a wind concern for you guys at this point. It's going to be just a bit of heavy rain. It's just going to be a bit of heavy rain for you folks out there towards like the Midwest and essentially where that cone is in general. So like I was saying, the cone goes all the way up there throughout the Midwest and even up there towards like the Ohio Valley there. It does have it going up there overall. So whenever it comes to it, man, that's just kind of what we're seeing here. That rain is going to be the main concern out in these regions here. Just, a bit of heavy rain. But the winds are going to be a big problem down in these areas down here overall. Let's see. That is the recent update model. Yeah, it's the latest HWRF model run, the one we just looked at. You know, having all that dry air on the bottom side of the storm there. Yeah, that's the problem with the storm right now, is that dry air on the bottom and the eastern side of the storm. But yeah, tonight, all models do support that moisture wrapping back around the cyclone, which would allow for convection to fire off on all sides, therefore getting that storm going again. Let's see. What's up, man? Hope you're doing good, Weather on the Go. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Let's see here. Kind of looking like it's trying to wrap around now. Let's take a look at that, actually. Yeah, we're going to hop back to SAT. We're going to take a look at the current view of the storm. Let me go ahead and turn on our data again. I had to turn it off for a minute. Let's see here. So there's the latest storm, latest infrared view. We'll look at water vapor here in a second. That's probably the most important one we can look at. So obviously, yeah, convection has settled down here in the last few scans, but that's just typical. It's just typical. Here soon, we'll probably start to get some more convective activity going on in the storm there. Yeah, let's take a look at that lower level water vapor here, so we can kind of see what's going on overall in that storm. So, yeah, I mean, you can really see where that dry air is getting sucked into it. If you look on that bottom, wow, yeah, you can really see that. Here, let me zoom down a little bit here. So you see all that kind of orangish red. That's a lot of dry air that's just getting sucked its way into that storm there. And now what's going to happen is that we're going to start to get some of that moisture kind of coming in clutch and starting to support that eastern side, and that should allow for the storm to start picking up strength again. And that's going to happen later on. That's going to happen later on here for tonight. So basically tomorrow morning is when we're going to start to see that strengthening begin. Once again, right now, like I said, it's sustained at 60 miles an hour with gusts up to 70, and by tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. Eastern, so 1 Central, we could be in the realm here of around 65 sustained with gusts up to 75. So we'll start gusting hurricane strength tonight. And of course, this thing will become a hurricane more than likely for tomorrow afternoon. So the next update I do tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have ourselves, likely likely a hurricane again with Beryl. And as she is set to be a Category 1 storm tomorrow, sustained winds of 75, gusts up to 90, and by tomorrow evening, this thing's going to be as high as 85 sustained and gusts up to, for the morning of the 8th, I should say, so 1 a.m. for you guys, so late, 85 sustained with gusts up to 105 at that point being, so that's kind of where we're standing here. And like I was mentioning, overall, once again, you guys, my personal opinion, take this how you want to. Like I said, you don't have to take my opinion on this or not. This is just what I believe based off of, what I've been seeing here with the system and the trends of the models, and just the fact that it's supposed to gather all that moisture and it's supposed to be over the waters a little bit longer than we thought in previous runs. I think we could reach low-end Cat 2. I think a lower-end Category 2 can't be ruled out, so don't be surprised if that is a possibility. I don't think it's going to go any higher than that, personally. I don't think we're going to get anything higher than a Cat 2. I think that's the topping point. I think she's going to be a low-end Cat 2 upon landfall, but if not, it'll be an upper-level Category 1. But, yeah, regardless, it's in the realm of around those wind speeds, and as of now, Hurricane Center has it right around 85 sustained upon landfall with gusts up to 105. So she's going to definitely pick up some strength by the time we get there. Let's see here. Is it possible for Beryl to start moving northeast because showers? No, not really. Honestly, it seems like the models have really kind of gotten a hold of the storm here overall. Let me hop over to the spaghetti models to show you that. That's something we definitely need to get into. Here's the latest spaghetti models, and we're actually kind of really starting to get a hold of where this thing's going to end up going at this point. I doubt this is going to move much more, honestly, by the time we hit landfall. You can see it's really targeted that area that's north of Corpus Christi. That's out there towards, that's near Victoria, actually. Now, Victoria, I think somewhere over here. It's a little hard to tell with, the models in the way, but it comes in close contact with Victoria, Texas, out there towards Seadrift and Port Lavaca, I think it is, towards Port Lavaca. Let me know if I'm saying that right. That's going to be where that's going to be making that initial landfall from what it looks like. More than likely, that's where it's going to be. Now, the chances of this thing steering more northeast, I think that's almost out of the question at this point. It seems like we've locked on target from the last several model runs, with the spaghetti models and then all that stuff. Here's the intensity guidance This is pretty interesting. You know, the hurricane models. I think the intensity guidance from the hurricane, the spaghetti model projections is usually underestimating the storm. It did the same thing in the beginning of the system. I honestly think that, you know, yeah, I personally think that we're going to go definitely over tropical storm force. That's already a given. I think we're probably going to go a little bit higher than that, but. You know, but yeah, the main hurricane spaghetti models, you know, regarding strength, which I've always noticed that they're a little bit more better for track than strength, but they do show this thing getting up maybe in the upper level tropical storm force. Once again, I think that's severely underdoing the system. As the main hurricane models in their independent run, they do show the system being, well, a little bit more stronger than that. And speaking of, let's just go ahead and hop on back over here to those models there. We'll take a look at the HMON model next. Overall. Okay, Tanya, yeah, we'll get into HAFS A and B here in a minute. I just want to go ahead and go through like the main first ones, and then we'll go down the list, okay? So let's go ahead and hop on over here, y'all. We're going to hop over to the HMON model here. So when it comes to the HMON, like I was mentioning, you know, the same general concept of everything. You know, once again, it's battling that dry air on the eastern and southern flank of the storm. And as we push our way into the night, we're going to start to get, you know, a lot more moisture building its way back up into that storm there. So that's going to allow for the storm to actually start picking up strength again. So that's going to be that overall. Let's see here. So that is what we are seeing with that system. Now, as we approach our way to the northwest, here for like, you know, right around sunrise and stuff, we are going to be having... you know, we are going to be having ourselves that moisture and all of that starting to wrap around the center of the storm, which, you know, convection, so that thunderstorm activity should start firing off on all sides of the storm, which would allow for the storm to, you know, pick up some strength and stuff like that. Then, of course, you know, this according to this model here, we get down into the upper 970 millibar range here. According to lower dynamics here regarding our surface winds, we're going to be pushing around 76 knots. That would be in Category 1 strength there, according to the HMON. The HWRF showed, you know, Category 2 strength. The HMON shows, like, Category 1 strength. So let's go and hop over to HAFS-A, and then we'll get into B, okay? So HAFS-A has this thing strengthening here, getting down to, what is that? Wow, rapid strengthening there, from 983 to 973 in 3 hours, according to the HAFS-A. Let's see here. Yeah, sustained winds on landfall is around 85 knots. That would push this thing into Category 2 strength, lower in Cat 2. So that kind of rolls with what the HWRF was showing. HWRF was showing 900 and, let's see here. Regarding wind speeds, it was showing basically a low in Category 2 with the pressure in like the 960s, while this one shows the lower 970s with the winds still in lower in Cat 2 strength. So that's according to HAFS-A. Now HAFS-B, let's see here. Another model here. When it comes to HAFS-B overall, this one shows it getting down. Yeah, pressure is very similar to the HWRF, showing the pressure in the upper 960s, lower 970s. And upon landfall, we could have maximum winds up to right around 94 knots. 94 knots. Wow, that's the highest one yet. Let me do a knots to miles an hour conversion here. Let's take a look at that. So, what did I say that was? What, 94? Yeah, 94 knots. That would be 108 miles an hour. That would be just shy of Cat 3, according to this model. But like I said, this is the only model that supports that, and not to mention this is still in Cat 2 realm, according to the wind speeds even. It's close to Cat 3, but no, like I said, y'all, the chance of this thing becoming a Cat 3 is slim, very slim. You know, the boundary, I think this thing is going to be making landfall in, it's going to be lower in Category 2. I think it's a lower in Cat 2 upon landfall, upper in Category 1. It'll be somewhere in that realm, you know, just based off of, you know, how, you know, quickly this thing is set to intensify from the models. I mean, all models at this point do support the possibility of this system, you know, getting up into, well up into, you know, like I was saying, a hurricane strength. That's expected as of now. But I think we're going to be right around like low in Cat 2 upon landfall. So that I wouldn't be surprised, y'all. Don't be surprised if you see that on one of the future Hurricane Center updates of a low in Cat 2. I mean, we're close, kind of. We're kind of like 10 mile an hour off away from that. 85 sustained here at 2 a.m. This is just before, like I said, this is just before, you know, just before landfall too. This is at 2 a.m. on Monday, and this is showing there, you know, 85 sustained with gusts up to 105, and that's you know, has a little bit of distance there to still pick up strength. You know, once that core slams into the side of Texas here, that's whenever it's going to start weakening rapidly. Let's see. You guys can do this. It's not like yeah. This is nothing to compare. Like I was mentioning that earlier with our other update, y'all. You know, this is nothing like Harvey or any of these other bad storms. So don't let it worry you too much. You know, you guys got this. As you know, obviously, Go West says you got this. But I still want you to be prepared for it. You know, it's nothing to ignore. You know, this is going to be causing some impacts, some pretty nasty concerns for the coast out there. Once again, we're expecting 4 to 6 foot of storm surge now regarding that latest update from the Hurricane Center. So out there towards the Matagorda Bay, 4 to 6 foot of storm surge is possible. You know, we are expecting that, you know, upon the point of landfall, you know, for the coast of where landfall is expected, it'll be right around 4 to 6 foot of storm surge overall. From the mouth of the Rio Grande up there towards north entrance of Padre Island, we're talking about 2 to 4 foot of storm surge out there. Corpus Christi Bay, 3 to 5 foot. Same thing for the Galveston Bay. Between High Island and was it Sabine? Or Sabine? Oh my gosh, I forgot how to pronounce it. Ignore my pronunciation, but you guys can see it there if you don't know what I'm talking about. Basically extreme, literally as far north as the Texas coast goes, 2 to 4 foot. And they did actually add a little area up there all the way towards Cameron in southwestern Louisiana, where possibility of 1 to 3 foot of storm surge is possible. So that's our surges. In terms of rainfall, this is the latest projection with rainfall. We got a good amount of rainfall upon the area where the core of the storm is going to run up against land. So the point where this thing makes landfall, we're going to see possibly up to 8 to 12 inches of rain. It's going to be a lot of heavy rainfall rates. The storm is going to be producing a lot of rain out there. So yeah, up to 8 to 12 inches is expected. Houston could see 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Little Rock, Arkansas could even see 4 to 6 inches of rainfall as well. Waco 2 to 4, San Antonio 1 to 2, Dallas 1 to 2, Fort Smith, Arkansas 2 to 4. You know, Memphis, Tennessee 1 to 2 inches, Jackson, Mississippi nearly 1 to 2, Lake Charles, Louisiana 2 to 4, Shreveport 2 to 4 inches. So that's kind of the overall rainfall forecast. Oklahoma City could even see a little bit of rain out of the system here, 2 to 4 on the forecast map overall. So, you know, there's a bit of rain expected. There's a bit of rain expected overall. Brownsville, Texas, 2 to 4 inches. So that's what the latest has to show us. Now, here's another graphic I want to show y'all. This is the wind speed probability. This is your probability of seeing tropical storm force winds, okay? So this is your probability of seeing tropical storm force winds. You guys can kind of see the bottom table here. So if you're in the dark green, there's a 5 to 10% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. Obviously, if you're in the dark or the lighter green you go, the higher the probability goes up. Once you get to the red there, that's a 70 to 80% chance. Now, here's the thing. This doesn't go out too far. As we get closer to landfall, this is going to increase for everybody, pretty much. You know, the probability is going to increase. The reason it's so low right now is because, you know, we're still a little ways away from Texas, and the confidence is not super high regarding those areas quite yet. But those will only go up, of course, as we get closer to the event here. So, like, wait till tomorrow evening. We're going to see those probabilities even reaching, you know, probably upper northeastern Texas out there. Let's see here, Victoria and or Lavaca landfall. I think, yeah, that's where it seems. That's where it kind of seems like the landfall is going to be the most likely. All right, so here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to head on over here back to the warnings. I do want to talk with these about you, or I want to talk about the latest warnings and stuff like that they've issued here. So this is very important information, so y'all definitely want to listen up for this. This will let you know if you're in potential hurricane or tropical storm conditions. So listen up, my friends. All right, let's go ahead and hop on back over here. Here's the latest cone regarding the latest warnings and everything like that as well. So we have the latest cone, the latest warnings. So the yellow here, these are tropical storm warnings. Okay, so the yellow areas down here, this is where tropical storm conditions was possible, all the way from the southern portion out there by Brownsville, Texas, going all the way up there until we reach out there near, let's see here. I'm trying to find a landmark area here. Not sure what this little area is, but right there just southeast of Kingsville, Texas is kind of where that cutoff is. This is tropical storm warnings, Kingsville, Texas included. Let's see here, areas out there by Robstown, tropical storm warning. Beeville, tropical storm warning. We got like areas out by Hallettsville, Columbus. Let's see here. Yeah, even out there south of Houston. Now, Houston's not in a tropical storm warning. The eastern side is towards like Baytown area. You guys are included. Texas City inside those tropical storm warnings. Galveston, tropical storm warnings in place. We got areas out by Beach City, and just shy of the northern portions here of Texas coast. So all those yellow areas, those are all tropical storm warnings, where tropical storm conditions is expected to occur here. So tropical storm conditions is expected. Then of course we have like this this kind of maroonish color here. This is the hurricane warnings. This is where we are expecting hurricane conditions. This does include Corpus Christi. This does include Port Arkansas. You guys are in hurricane warnings, where hurricane conditions is expected towards Rockport. We got ourselves Sea Drift included. Victoria, one of the big ones. Victoria. We got ourselves Point Comfort there. Port Lavaca. We have, let's see here, Laward. We have Bay City included in hurricane warning. So all of those areas out there and towards the Matagorda Bay. The Matagorda Bay, I think it is. You guys are under hurricane warnings, and that's where the landfall is expected. More than likely, like I said, regarding landfall here, it's going to be somewhere, I think, between like Port Lavaca and somewhere towards Corpus Christi. So between Corpus Christi and Port Lavaca, that's probably right around where that landfall is going to be seen with that system. And once again, the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center here, we are seeing, like I said, sustained winds of 85 just before landfall. This is not at landfall. This is just before landfall from the latest projection. This is 2 a.m. for the Monday commute, so very early. So for Monday morning at 2 a.m., so 1 a.m. Central, this is 2 a.m. Eastern, this will be sustained at 85 with gusts up to 105 overall. So that's a bit of an issue, and like I said, it's gonna be at nighttime. Unfortunately, you're gonna wake up Monday morning, and that's when the conditions are gonna be kind of the worst overall. So, what a way, what a way to start off your work week and stuff like that by having a hurricane. So then, like I said, as this thing rolls inland, it's gonna rapidly weaken. As it gets taken out of those warm waters, and as that lower wind field starts to have some drag behind it, because as those winds roll on land, it has there's a lot of drag to it. So it basically slows down those winds very quickly as they roll inland. And at the point here for not tomorrow. At the point here for essentially the afternoon here of the 8th. So for the afternoon here of the 8th here, right around 1 p.m. Central Time, the storm will be just downgraded from a Cat 1 to a tropical storm here with sustained winds of 70 miles an hour with gusts up to 85. So that is the overall verdict. Then, of course, it'll continue north. The center of the storm could go out there near College Station. There still is a pretty good size cone out there, so it could go out there towards Austin, or it could go over there towards Houston, but the middle of the cone has it going out there near College Station overall, in which we could see at that point a low-end tropical storm out there. So 40 mile an hour sustained with gusts up to 50 there overall. So yeah, College Station, that'll be potential. Like I was saying, a potential low-end tropical storm at that point. And then, like I said, after all that, the central low of the storm is going to continue going northeast. Now, I know there's a lot of cone left, and y'all are probably a little concerned about that. I'm going to tell you this. Don't be too worried about these areas here. Like I mentioned before, the winds are going to be mostly depleted at this time as the landfall interaction has begun. Obviously, like I was mentioning, when a tropical system gets pulled out of the warm water, it's going to rapidly weaken overall. But also, there's a bit of a drag coefficient. Whenever the winds go over land, that essentially will allow for the storm structure to weaken because of drag, in which it has a greater drag coefficient on land as it would on like the water. So that is another thing. That's going to be another contributing factor. So as it digs its way in the land, the winds are going to immediately start to vanish, over time. So by the time, the system center gets out in these regions here, it's just going to be a blob of rain, essentially. It's just going to be the remains. What's up, Isabel? Hope you're doing good. It's going to be like the remains of the rain out there, essentially. It's going to lead up there. Now, hopping back hopping back, speaking of rain, like I was talking about to you guys, this is the latest projections there overall. This is about how much rain we can expect. So Lake Charles area, we could see about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. Shreveport, 2 to 4 inches of rain. Little Rock could see a little more out there towards Arkansas, central Arkansas. 4 to 6 inches can't be ruled out. Out there towards the main areas, Houston, 4 to 6 inches. San Antonio, 1 to 2. Corpus Christi, 2 to 4. Brownsville, 2 to 4. Corpus Christi, I already said Corpus Christi. Waco, 2 to 4. So out there in those regions there, we are going to be seeing, a good amount of rainfall. Obviously, the point of landfall, where this thing does make landfall, depending on where. We're thinking it's going to be near Victoria or out there towards Lavaca. I think Port Lavaca area or Victoria area, it's roughly where that landfall is going to be. In which, the point of landfall, we have a potential of seeing 8 to 12 inches of rain out there. So there's going to be a really solid amount of rain. Even Oklahoma, you can see that has a little bit of rain potential out of it. Maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain out there overall. Mississippi, Alabama, not a whole lot, maybe a couple, inches here and there, but yeah, nothing historic. Once again, y'all, I want to let y'all know this is not like Harvey. I can't believe how many people I hear comparing this thing to Harvey. It is not even close to Harvey. So don't compare this thing to Harvey. The system's a lot more mild compared to Harvey. Okay, this thing's not going to just sit there and dump rain over you. The system's still going to be moving. She's still going to be moving. As we continue to the north, relatively northwest. Then eventually shifting to the northeast. She's still going to be moving. There is going to be a concern with rainfall. First of all, like I said, there's going to be a concern of that rainfall, plus the surging we're seeing out there. So the point of landfall could see 4 to 6 foot of storm surge. So 4 to 6 foot of surges, plus potentially 8 to 12 inches of rain out in some areas near the coasts. So that landfall condition or that landfall area, there's going to be a lot of water. A lot of water, and that's actually the main concern. That's what I'm mostly concerned about. It's like the flooding aspect from coastal surges to increase, more flooding with the rainfall that we're going to be seeing there. That's what I'm a little bit concerned about there. So, that's the main thing. The winds will be cause the potential for some inconveniences, of course, overall, but like I said, it's. I think the main problem is going to be the rain. You guys out here on the coast, you all have probably dealt with many hurricanes before. This is not a major hurricane. This is a lower end hurricane. It's not the end of the world. I'll promise you that. But I will tell you this though. I still want you to prepare. This is something you shouldn't just brush off and be like, yeah, I'll be all right. You might be fine, and more than likely you will be fine. But, like I said, I want you to prepare for it. It's better to be safe than sorry. I want you to prepare for the worst and expect for the best, or hope for the best. So, like I said, just make sure by tomorrow, or sorry, not by tomorrow, mid-tomorrow, we'll say it. Just mid-tomorrow, this is your homework out there. I'm giving you all some homework. So out there by kind of mid-tomorrow, I want you guys to have some water together. I want you to have some crates of water together. I want you guys to have, some non-perishable foods, maybe a flashlight with extra batteries, optional, weather radio, and some battery, packs for your phones and stuff like that, so you can keep your phones charged. And, if you have a generator, make sure you have the gas for the generator. Just stuff like that. Just think of that. That's your homework, and I want you to have that done here by tomorrow. Okay, so that's your homework. It's better to be prepared, like I said, than not. So that's the overall verdict. So hopping back over here, y'all, we're gonna take a look here at the surges and stuff like that. So like I was mentioning, up to 4 to 6 foot of storm surge is expected overall with the storm upon that landfall point. Whenever it comes to the warnings and stuff like that. So like I mentioned, we had hurricane and tropical storm warnings, but we also have ourselves some storm surge warnings as well. So this dark blue color going all the way down there from Corpus Christi, shooting all the way up there towards the Galveston Bay and a little bit further northeast. These are all storm surge warnings. Now these are where we are expecting surges to occur of at least 2 to 4 foot. Out there. So towards the Galveston Bay, like I was talking about, actually 3 to 5 is expected there. As a matter of fact, yeah, this is actually for the areas 3 to 5 foot. My bad. Yeah, not 2 to 4. This is actually for 3 to 5 foot out there by the Galveston Bay area. And then, of course, the point of landfall, where this thing's expected to make landfall, is going to be right around 4 to 6 foot. A little bit further south here is back into the realm of 3 to 5. So yeah, 3 to 5, 4 to 6, and then 3 to 5 again is kind of what we're talking regarding the the surges and all that. So these are surge warnings, basically saying storm surge. We are expecting some surges. If you don't know what storm surge is, if you're not sure what that is, basically, so we're saying at the point of landfall, 4 to 6 foot of storm surge. So what that means is that 4 to 6 foot of ocean water is going to push inland because of the storm here. Like I said, even with that going on, 4 to 6 foot of storm surge, it's going to be 4 to 6 foot of above sea level water being pushed inland. That's the overall the thing here, and so that's going to lead to some coastal flooding, of course. For those coastal places, that's a problem. Not to mention, on top of that, like I was talking about, the rainwater, at the point of landfall. Shoot, like I was mentioning, we're talking 8 to 12 inches of rain. 8 to 12 inches of rain on top of, 4 to 6 foot of storm surge out there on the the point of worst conditions. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're in hurricane warnings, you're in the areas I really need you to prepare for this. Okay. So just looking out for y'all. Like I said, I care about you guys. I want to make sure y'all are weather aware and prepared. And like I said, we're here for you. I'm here for you. I'm not trying to cause any fear or anything like that. I'm giving you all the latest info and all that stuff. And it's not the worst hurricane in the world, but it still has it can still pack a punch. Is what it comes down to. It can still pack a punch, and it's better to be prepared than not prepared overall. Let's see. A reminder: a weak hurricane can still be dangerous. Do not underestimate power of water. Yeah, water is very, very, very strong. Water is actually one of the main problems. With hurricanes. Storm surge and just water flooding in general is like the main problem with hurricanes and stuff. Of course, the winds, but that's more of a secondary concern. Is the winds. But the winds, like I was saying, they're not going to be in major hurricane status. They're going to be up in, I personally think, okay, like I said, this is my opinion, take this how you want to. You don't have to fully trust what I have to say here. But based on the way I've been seeing things, I think we could reach low in Cat 2 on the storm here just before landfall. Lower in Cat 2, I think that's its peak intensity as it rolls over here. From what I'm seeing now, upper in Category 1, lower in Cat 2, I think that's where we're going to stand upon landfall here. That's where I firmly believe we're going to be upon landfall. Let's see here. Let me get down to some of these comments here. So storm surge is something like a giant wave. Well, not kind of, but not necessarily. So it's basically the rise of sea level water. So where the ocean is now, imagine that, what was it, 4 to 6 foot above normal. So yeah, so out there where the surging is, so where that landfall is, where the ocean is, imagine that 4 to 6 foot taller than it normally is. That's because of the water swelling and pushing. The hurricane, the winds are aiming right at the coast, so it's pushing all that water inland. So about 4 to 6 foot above, above sea level is expected. And plus, on top of that, like I was saying, with the rain that's going to be falling, that's going to lead to even more flooding and even more water. So that's where the big concern comes in, and that's what I'm mostly concerned about. Upon all that. Let's see here. Life jackets for you and your animal. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, just make sure you have life jackets, and if that's if you're on the coast. I mean, obviously, if you're inland, that's not going to be as much of an issue. Obviously, like towards Victoria. I think Victoria is going to have some pretty strong impacts from the storm, but Victoria itself is away from the coast, so that's you all don't got to worry about storm surge. I tell you this, man, Victoria is well above 4 to 6 foot above the sea level. I'll tell you that. Basically, a hurricane circulates water around itself. Generally, that the water has to go somewhere when it makes landfall. Yeah, so in the northern hemisphere, I can kind of show a visual representation of what I think Isabel's trying to say. So, like I was mentioning here, you have these systems. They rotate counterclockwise. So you're getting all that all those winds, they're battering up against the coast, which is, like I said, essentially pushing that water inland. It's pushing, it's swelling, it's allowing for the water on the coast to rise. So that's being pushed inland. So yeah, and we're talking the amount of water and how high it's going to get up to is about 4 to 6 foot. That's what that's saying. Now, the thing is, though, is on the other side, since we have, counterclockwise circulation, we actually have a little brief period of time where the water actually pulls back from the beaches. And of course, then once that low goes overland, it'll come right back and push in once again for those regions. So, like, for example, say this thing ends up where this graphic is. So say we make landfall right here. So that at one point, possibly Port Arkansas, we'll see the water withdraw for a bit, and then as that low gets up here, then you're going to see that shift in wind direction, which will start to allow for that water to push, back inland. But yeah, regardless, like I said, that's just kind of what's going on there overall. Let's see. I always carry a life jacket for my pups in my car. Let's see, what if you hydroplane into a body of water? That's true. Yeah, I'm glad to see that you're prepared for it, Nikki. Yeah, I mean, I know where you're at based off of like previous severe weather events. I don't think you're being affected by this. I hope not. But yeah, that's a good mentality. It's definitely good to be prepared, of course, and that's what all this is about, man. This is what we're here for, is to help y'all out and to let y'all know. Here's the latest cone on the Hurricane Center's website. We'll go ahead and show y'all their graphic here. So this is the latest Hurricane Center's cone. Once again, we got those hurricane warnings in place out there in the red. That's earlier today. We did our update here, and at the end of our update, we did get those hurricane warnings. So, yeah, so we have hurricane warnings in place out there towards central coastal Texas, out there towards the the southern side of Texas, extreme northeastern, even coastal Mexico. We still have a little bit of tropical storm warnings, even out there towards the Galveston Bay. That's where those tropical storm warnings carry on into there overall. And then, like I said, this thing's supposed to strengthen into a hurricane here for basically, tomorrow afternoon. At that point in time, we're going to get back into hurricane strength. She'll make landfall for the morning of Monday overall. And then, of course, downgrade to a tropical storm shortly after making landfall, as it's going to quickly weaken. Because, like I said, you're taking it out of water. It's not going to like it too much. It's like it's going to want to go back in that warm water, but it's going to be going inland. That's going to really allow for that storm to start breaking down overall. Then, of course, it's going to downgrade from a tropical storm to a depression sometime, probably right around the afternoon of Tuesday, according to the latest, the latest cone. Now, and like I was saying, I know a lot of y'all are probably seeing the cone over here, up there towards like the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, and you might be like, that's concerning. Don't let it get to you. What essentially this is saying is that whatever's left, whatever's left of the storm, the center of whatever is left could go somewhere in that area. So, the center of that low pressure in general, the center of it could go as far west as that line here or as far east as this line here. That's where the uncertainty kicks in. But by the time it gets up into these regions, it's not going to be anything hardly to worry about. First of all, let me tell you, the winds are going to be gone. You're not even tropical storm force at that point. You're talking just some gusty winds. You see it all the time during, storm season. Nothing big. The thing is, though, is it's mostly just going to be rain. Just some rain. Whatever leftover rain we can get out of the storm, some of that rain will continue up into, like, Arkansas and some of those regions. And matter of fact, like I was saying, with that rainfall, overall, like I said, Little Rock, we could see 4 to 6 inches of rain out there. Up there in southern Missouri, 2 to 4. Out there in southwestern Kentucky, out there, we could see 2 to 4 inches of rain as well. That's as far north as I can see that graphic. So, obviously, I can't pan up. I wish I could, but even then, like I said, at that point in time, the forecast would probably be a little iffy. Getting that far down in time, but just know that this map is going to be changing quite a bit, I think, up until the point of landfall. They do evolve quite frequently. They do change quite drastically. So, at least for the next little bit, I wouldn't say you're set in concrete for that amount of rain that you see on the map here. Because, like I said, last update showed, like, all of eastern Texas, at least 4 to 6, with most areas up there possibly, like, 8 to 12. So, it was all over the place last update, and there's a big change with this one. So, don't be surprised if there's another big change with the next update overall. Let's see here. Being in the cone doesn't mean extreme danger. No, not all the time. And, like I said, the cone of uncertainty is basically just showing you where the center of that storm could track. So, for example, with the cone that we have until landfall, the storm could track as far east as this line here. or could track as far west as this line here. Obviously, the middle point is where the models agree on, so more than likely we're just going to cut right up the middle. Yeah, more than likely we're going to cut right up the middle. And also another misconception is people thinking that the cone is where the effects are going to be felt. That's not true. The cone, like I said, is just where the center of that storm could cross over. Not necessarily where the storm effects are going to be. Let's see here. What's up, Trading? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Catloaf? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Glad to have you here. Also carry survival meal bars. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, for the folks out there in those hurricane warnings and stuff like that. It's obviously good to make sure that you guys have your non-perishable foods and a couple cases of water if possible. If you can get that early, that'd be better. At this point in time, I'm sure a lot of that supply is starting to get used up. That's what I was saying. With hurricanes, supply and demand is a crazy thing. While the supply is low, demand is high. So the earlier you can get it, the better. In which at this point, just would recommend tomorrow morning, if not tonight, going out and getting those items. I mean, if you're out there in those hurricane warnings. And, like I was mentioning here, overall, let me go ahead and remove this cone real quickly once again. So those maroon color areas there, these are... let's see here. Yeah, so these are hurricane warnings in place. We also have a hurricane watch out there by Freeport and out there by Treasure Island. That is, like I said, where hurricane conditions are possible. They did not add a warning. It's still not known if they're going to even add a warning for that area, but it's there in case if we need one. Yeah, let me turn those off though, just to kind of show you right now where those hurricane warnings are alone. Whenever it comes to it, let's see, Hurricane Watch, I'll turn it off. So yeah, these are the areas here that, we really need to prepare for. As those areas that are highlighted here, that's where the hurricane conditions is expected, okay? And, like I said, that does include areas like Corpus Christi, Victoria, Port Lavaca, Bay City, some of those regions out there. I want you all to be prepared. Make sure you all have, make sure you have enough water, enough food. Once again, flashlight, extra batteries, have your phone charged, of course, by the time the event happens, and have some of those battery banks overall. Just make sure that you just have all those items together. And the earlier you can get them, the better. So you're not fighting over them at the end. That's not what we want. We don't want to spread any fear. And like I said, once again, y'all, it'll be all right. We'll get through this. I know, hurricanes are not really fun to deal with. But, when it comes down to it, we'll get you through it. I'll keep you updated to the best of my ability. I'll be here to help you guys out. During the event and beforehand, we've been doing countless updates for you guys on this system since it even began. And what I mean by that is, like, before the storm even began, way over here. I mean, we were talking about this thing as it was all the way over here. And we've been here every step of the way, and I'm going to continue to be here until the storm is no longer there. So, that's the thing. So, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. That way you guys can stay updated with the weather and all of that. What specifics? So, on landfall or right now? So, right now it's a tropical storm with sustained winds of 60 miles an hour. We are seeing gusts up to 70. Now, upon landfall, it's looking like low-end Cat 2, upper-end Cat 1 hurricane center before landfall. This is before landfall, so there could be a little bit more time for strengthening after this. But right there for the morning of Monday, 1 a.m. Central Time, this is going to be sustained at 85 miles an hour with gusts up to 105. So that's expected upon landfall overall. And like I said, it could have a little bit more space to do a little bit of strengthening. It's once that core, the outer bands going over land doesn't necessarily affect the storm too much, but it's really that core. Once the core of the storm goes inland, that's whenever you really start to see that weakening occur. And until that core starts touching land there, that's basically whenever it's locked in at whatever intensity it's at. And I'm thinking upper Cat 1, lower Cat 2 is a possibility. Andrew's spot on about the supply and demand. Yeah, like I said, supply is low, demand is high in an event like this, and so, the earlier you can get to it, the better. Don't wait until last minute, man. That's all I gotta say. Don't wait till last minute. That's with water. I mean, that's with anything, gas even. Supply and demand. That's a very important thing you need to know about whenever it comes to natural disasters and stuff like that. Is that supply. It's not always the highest, and you need to get that supply before the demand takes it over. But like I said, we're not trying to scare you here. I'm just trying to give you all some advice. What's up, Supercell? Hope you're doing good, man. Saying, hope you're doing good. I'm doing all right, man. Hope you're doing good yourself. Saying, thank you for the information. You are welcome. Glad to help out, my friend. Hope all's well with you. What's up, Raven? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. But yeah, so that's all with that. Let's go and hop over to models, you guys. Let's go and take a look at some models. We're going to start off with the HWRF, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and explain to y'all why the storm right now is not really strengthening. I'm going to explain all that to you. So let's go and hop on over here, y'all. So this is the HWRF model. So this is a hurricane model. The time is in the top right if you guys want to follow along. So obviously the time right now is like 10 o'clock. So we're roughly at this point in time here. So the reason why the storm overall is having a bit of a hard time strengthening today is due to all of that dry air. So that tan color you see there, that is representing a lot of low relative humidity. So throughout our atmosphere, the humidity levels are pretty low on the eastern and the southern flank of the storm. So the thing about weather is that in terms of storms do not like dry conditions. I will tell you that they do not like dry conditions. So whenever it comes to it, there's a lot of dry conditions in the eastern and the southern portion here of that storm. And so that's basically preventing any convection, so any thunderstorm activity from developing in these sides of the storm. Meanwhile, on the northern and northwestern side of the storm, there's a lot of bluish-green color you see here. That is a lot of moisture. There's a lot of humid air out there. So there's going to be a lot of storm activity going on. And matter of fact, let me show you all something to kind of put this in perspective that'll hopefully allow you to understand what's going on here. So we can actually see what's going on right now by looking at the satellite view. If we hop on over here to the main satellite view, you can actually see how that dry air is getting kind of caught up in that storm there. So you see how there's a lot of convection there on the eastern side of that storm. Meanwhile, the western side is pretty darn dry. There's not a lot of storms. So that's an area of convection. That's a thunderstorm there. It's in a relatively moist environment. Meanwhile, down here, it's not so much. So if we were to go back on previous scans here of satellite, you can see, though, that dry air really started pulling its way up into that side, and that's why, we have a lot of the convection still over here and not in here. It's just because, like I said, there's a lot of dry air out there. So that's why she ain't really strengthening too much right now. But unfortunately, that's not going to be a problem for too much longer, because here's what's going to happen, and all the models really pick up on this too. So remember the times in the top right. As we advance forward and as we pull our way into tomorrow morning, look at that. So the moisture, so on the right-hand side, a lot of dry air. In the next few frames, you notice how that moisture starts to get kind of kicked out. And the overall storm here, you can see right there where there's a lot of dry air. A lot of moisture starts getting put back in place out there towards the eastern side of that storm. So that would allow for convection to start occurring all around the storm, which would, in terms, get that storm actively going again. And it'll continue to be relatively good regarding moisture up until the point of landfall. According to the models here. So that's kind of the problem. There's really warm waters out there. There's a lot of moisture that's going to be available at that point in time. And also there's not much winds. We call wind shear. If there's a lot of wind shear that would basically kind of rip apart your storm, well, there's no wind shear, so the winds are going to be relatively weak. That's foreign to the storm. That's not a part of the storm, but, we're talking like a jet stream hitting the storm. It's not expected, so the winds are not going to be a concern for the storm to die out. But basically just rapidly intensifying conditions possible. Just as, we start wrapping that moisture back on the right-hand side of the storm, then this thing will be set to strengthen up until the point of landfall overall. Like I said, kind of what we're going to be talking about. So some models show stronger than other. This model shows 966 millibar HWRF here. And this one's showing the wind speeds upon landfall around 86 knots, which that would put us right around Category 2 strength, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, 86, that would be 98. So that would be right up on, I think, isn't it 95 plus Cat 2? Let me pull up the Saffir-Simpson scale just to make sure, you know. Still the beginning of hurricane season, and I typically love to forget those numbers every year. So, okay, so yeah, 96 plus is considered Cat 2. This model has it getting up to 90, what was it, 90, what did I say it was, 97? 98. So yeah, we're going to be in Cat 2 realm according to this model here, which is the HWRF. So that's that model. Whenever it comes to the HMON, this is another model run. This one shows it a little bit more weaker. Sustained winds upon landfall around 76 knots, which that would put us down to sustained winds of around 87. That would be like an upper level Category 1. So while the previous model showed lower end Cat 2, this one shows upper level Cat 1. And that's where I stand with my forecast. I think it's going to be either an upper level Cat 1 or a low end Cat 2. I don't think it's going to get any stronger than that overall. So that's where I'm firm on my forecast there. Now, whenever it comes to other models like HAFSA, this one shows 85 knots upon landfall, which that would put us, let's see here, 85 knots would be 97 miles an hour. Once again, low end Cat 2, according to that model. So 2 out of 3 models show Category 2 strength. Whenever it comes to HAFSB, this one here shows 94 knots. Wow. This one is a lot. This is definitely the strongest one, showing 108 mile an hour sustained. That's getting near Cat 3, but I don't think it's going to get that high. So we looked at 4 models. 3 out of 4 of them showed at least Category 2, lower end, at least low end Cat 2. The other one showed Category 1. All models we just looked at showed hurricane strength, and 3 of them showed maybe even lower in Cat 2 or higher. We'll have to see. But like I said, I'm solid on my forecast, you guys. This is what I believe. I think we're going to be in lower end Cat 2 or upper end Cat 1. So don't be surprised if we see a little number 2 might pop up in one of these future Hurricane Center updates. You know, I'm not gonna rule it out, but just don't freak out if you see it. But even then, it's just gonna be a matter of a fact of a different, you know, just a couple mile an hour winds. You know, it's not going to be a huge difference. Just a little bit more stronger winds. But yeah, so that's that. You know, that's what the models were showing. And hopping back actually over here real quickly, I want to show you all the spaghetti models and all that. Here's the latest track with the spaghetti models. I think the spaghetti models kind of, from what I've seen, I think the spaghetti models tend to underestimate the strength regarding the storm. So we're just, you know, that's kind of what I've always thought. It seems like the spaghetti models underdo the strength, but they're good with the track. And here's the track here overall, and you can kind of see there that, you know, we're relatively dialed in. We're pretty dialed in on where this thing's gonna make landfall at this point. So any major changes is unexpected. We're not expecting this thing to shift much more, if any at all. In which, you know, like I said, it seems most likely a landfall near like anywhere between Corpus Christi, really, and out through towards the Matagorda Bay area. That's probably where, more than likely, it's going to be a close landfall towards like Port Lavaca, or out there by Victoria. Somewhere in that region is the most probable area for landfall there overall. Warm water here. Yeah, it's very warm water out there, you know, but like I was mentioning, it's not just up to warm water. You know, there's also 2 other main factors. If there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, not just warm waters, but the atmosphere in general, which as we approach Texas, yes, there will be enough moisture to get some strengthening occurring. There will be enough warm waters. Like I said, there will definitely be enough warm waters for strengthening, so that's already a check. And the last thing is wind shear. Basically, strong winds aimed at a tropical cyclone that would basically kind of tilt your storm's vertical stack over. So that's the thing, is if you have strong winds that are aimed at a tropical cyclone, it'll allow for your stacking to become kind of slanted. Therefore, the storm will start to wobble, destabilize a bit, and then eventually just kind of fall apart if there's strong enough wind shear. But the good news, well, for the storm anyways, is that there's not going to be any wind shear, hardly any at all. Therefore, the storm is not going to encounter any concerns regarding strong winds ripping the storm apart. It's going to be relatively calm. So, with calm waters, good amounts of moisture, and warm waters, sorry, did I already say that? Warm waters, no wind shear, and good amounts of moisture. There's going to be prime conditions for strengthening. Prime conditions for strengthening upon landfall. And like I said, that's what leads me to believe it's going to be a low-end Cat 2, possibly. Can I explain what the icon is? So icon is a model run. I know there's been a lot of talk about people like glorifying the icon model. You know, like I said, you should never take one model over any other. You know, that's one big mistake that you can make whenever forecasting is to be biased against other models. You got to trust all of them. You know, some models have good and bad days. You know, some models forecast really well one day. Some models forecast really bad the other. You know, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. So people are glorifying the icon model because it's kind of been an outcast. It's been kind of, you know, showing things that the other models aren't really talking about, so people are gaining attraction to it. But yeah, icon honestly is not really the best hurricane model to look at. The reason why icon is so concerning to people right now is because of this model is showing it going near Houston instead, which is like one of the only models that shows that overall. Like I said, you know, don't just pay attention. Don't just pay attention to icon. You know, once again, it's just kind of showing things that all the other models aren't really talking about, which kind of put this in, you know, kind of put this in an outlier almost. So, you know, if you have a lot of models agreeing on one thing, stick to that. If you have a lot of models agreeing, if you have a lot of models disagreeing, then throw out what they disagree on. And otherwise, that's just how that's kind of how you have to take it. I think Corpus Christi area is going to go down like Harvey. Nah, this is nothing to compare to Harvey at all. Regarding its strength, Harvey was a Cat 4. This is an upper level Cat 1. Harvey stalled. Harvey just stopped, essentially, in which, you know, just dumped rain after rain after rain and in spots out by Houston. This storm, first of all, is not as strong as Harvey. Second of all, this storm's going to keep moving. It's not going to just stop like Harvey did. Once again, this is not anything. This is definitely not anything to to compare to Harvey overall. Yeah, NAM 3 kilometer is never an option that you should even think about using when forecasting hurricanes. I'm not even joking with you. There's something in the NAM every single time that knocks that pressure down tremendously low. Just because I want to, just because I want to, I want to see what the NAM 3K has to show. Once again, do not trust this model at all. Okay, this shows 937. No way this is ever getting down like that. I've seen a tropical storm make landfall, and this thing had the pressure down in the 800s before. Yeah, don't ever trust the NAM 3 kilometer. Like, that is literally a model you want to throw in the garbage. That is a model you never want to even consider for tropical, because it's not built for tropical, you know, formation. Basically, NAM always assumes that the conditions are going to be prime for hurricanes all the time. In which, yeah, NAM is never a good model to look at, because other models, hurricane models, they take a good look at sea surface temperatures, upper air patterns. I mean, all models really look at upper air patterns, but upper air patterns, sea surface temperatures, the amount of moisture, while NAM mostly focuses on like thunderstorms, you know, not necessarily the waters, but mostly focuses on like upper air patterns and instability, essentially. That's, you know, NAM is kind of a severe thunderstorm type of model, while HWRF is like a hurricane type of model. So there's different types of models. What is a good source to find these models? So before I tell you, a bit of a disclaimer, please do not make a forecast off of these models that you see. There's a lot of other things you got to take into consideration, but you can find them on tropicaltidbits.com. Okay? But like I said, when it comes to it, though, please don't make a forecast based off of one model. You got to obviously, there's a lot of other factors. It's not just models that we use to forecast. There's other things we use, like observational stuff, soundings, actual observations that are taken beforehand. Models just take current atmospheric data and present it forward with a time series, in which is not always, obviously the further you go down, the more inaccurate it becomes overall. But yeah, please don't trust one model to be always right. Okay, that's what it boils down to. Let's see here. 862 millibars, ridiculous. How would a hurricane even get to that pressure like that? It has. Matter of fact, was it Tip? Typhoon Tip? 870 millibars? I think, hold on. Typhoon Tip was like one of the, I think the biggest hurricane out there. Well, it's a typhoon, but same thing. Same phenomenon. Let's see, Typhoon Tip. Yeah, 870. Man, I had that spot on, dude. Yeah, Typhoon Tip was the lowest atmospheric pressure ever measured in a tropical cyclone, which it literally says right there. But yeah, 870 millibar was the lowest. Was the lowest out there. Let's see here. Our Delta Trading, thank you so much, dude. Welcome to Tropical Storm Team. I appreciate your support. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, my friend. Goes a long way with helping us out and help keeping our coverage rolling. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, dude. That's very sweet of you. But anyways, but yeah, so that's what's going on there regarding that. Is there anything you guys want to take a look at? You know, if there's anything in chat, anybody in chat, if y'all want me to take a look at a specific area, if you're concerned, I will be more than glad to take some zip codes here and there. Do not throw a whole zip code train in the chat, but here and there I will grab a zip code or two in order to help you guys out. You know, because I want to be productive. I want to help you guys overall. You know, I want to help you guys out overall in terms of preparing for the storm here. Let's see. Euro says it's going to shift more north. Let's see here. Let me pull up the ECMWF here. Yeah, once again, you got to take one model with a grain of salt, especially one run. Not too much more north, honestly. No. Yeah, ECMWF has it slightly higher than the median landfall point, but yeah, it's nothing alarmingly crazy. Not to mention one model run doesn't change really much of the forecast at all. Can I check on Marlin, Texas? Yeah, I got you, my friend. Let's see here, Marlin. Let's see, Marlin, Texas. You, my friend. Yeah, you should be mostly good. So you're far inland, where you're not going to have any concerns regarding storm surge, obviously. However, you know, Waco out there, you know, we could get a decent amount of rainfall. The storm out there is going to be a weak tropical storm by the time it gets to you, so maybe some gusts, you know, between 40 and 50 miles an hour can't be ruled out because tropical storm conditions are possible towards you, but very, very low end at that point. I wouldn't expect to see sustained tropical storm force winds. Just some gusty winds overall, nothing out of the ordinary. Now, when it comes to the rainfall and stuff out there, you're near Waco. I'd expect about 2 to 4 inches overall. Let's see here. What about Houston? Yeah, so Houston, we do not have any active warnings except for the eastern side. Let's see. We'll go and bring up those warnings there again. So for, let's see, tropical storm warnings here. We're going to bring that up. So, yeah. So out there in eastern Houston, we do have ourselves some tropical storm warnings. For the main area of Houston, we do not have tropical storm warnings. I believe you might be under the watch, though. I'll keep on clicking on the wrong one there. Here, let me check on those watches. I'm not too sure if you're in those or not. Let's see. Tropical Storm Watch does not include you. Okay, that's good news. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised still if you still saw some gusts up to tropical storm force. The main thing you got to look out, though, for is rain. You know, right there, right around 4 to 6 inches is expected overall. Anything forecast to come after the storm? Nope, looking pretty quiet. A lot of Saharan dust. Going to keep things suppressed for a little bit, I think. Let's see here. Slim, once we take a look at 77612, 77612. It's getting overwhelming in the chat again. All right, for you, my friend, yeah, you're far up north. You're not going to get a lot of the winds, honestly. You're going to get mostly just some rain. Let's see, you're out there about 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Not entirely sure how strong those winds are going to get, but you're not in any tropical storm warning or hurricane warning. So we'll leave it at that. I'll just let you know how much rain you can get and if you're in a hurricane or tropical storm warning. How about that? Nikki wants me to take a look at 75501, 75501. You, my friend, are in Texarkana. You are not under any tropical storm warning or no hurricane warnings or tropical storm warnings in effect for you. However, you could see 6 to 8 inches of rain. There's a lot of rain expected. The storm center could pass near Texarkana as a tropical depression, not a tropical storm. It'll be well dead by the time it gets to you. Just rain, basically. Let's see. You're welcome. Lots, no problem. Let's see. I'm not too sure how you... Is it Loretta's? I think it is. I'm so sorry. I'm saying your name wrong. I'm terribly sorry. I'm not good with pronunciations. So 78045. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Out there in Loretto, Texas. Oh, yeah. You're good, my friend. You're not even expecting any... yeah, you're not even expecting any rain, honestly. Most of the rain's going to remain to your east, so you're hardly going to be affected at all, my friend. Let's see here. Not Hurricane Beryl related. Oklahoma here at National Weather Service Norman saying severe storms for tomorrow. Can I check on that? Sure, Amanda. Yeah, I got you real quickly. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up SPC. Okay, so we do got a slight risk tomorrow. Little 2% tornado threat. Tomorrow we're going to start to feel some of those bands, though, from Beryl. We're going to see possibly some tornadic activity on the eastern coast. Tomorrow being the 7th. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe some hail, maybe some gusty winds, but typical Oklahoma. It's just kind of normal Oklahoma day. Let's see here. Sorry for so much question. No problem. Do I think we should leave our area or no? In the news in our area is exaggerating too much. Where are you at again, my friend? Sorry, there's so many places I keep on forgetting where everybody's at. There's just so much I have to keep up with. Let's see here. Is it Evie? Hopefully I'm saying your name right. 77064. 77064. Gotcha. Houston. Yeah, so Houston, you, my friend, you're not in any warnings. No tropical storm warnings, no hurricane warnings, so you're not under any warnings. But you are expecting anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain. So I would expect a lot of rain. The winds could get gusty. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to be sustained at tropical storm force, but it could get pretty gusty out there overall. Hopefully that helped out, my friend. Let's see here. Johnny, let's see, 78745. 78745. You're in Austin. Yep, you're good, my friend. There's no... yeah, we're not expecting any... There's no hurricane warnings, no tropical storm warnings there. And you, my friend, are in a zone of 2 to 4 inches of rainfall overall. Let's see here. RO scale, once we take a look at 77379, 77379, Spring, Texas. If you guys could consider leaving a like and subscribing, it'd be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you out. If you guys could help me out as well and hit that subscribe button and leave a like, it'd be much appreciated. Yeah, so the same area here, once again, gusty winds, but rain expected around 4 to 6 inches overall. Let's see. What about Seminole, Texas? 79360. 79360. No. Yeah, this is absolutely going to cause nothing. You're not even going to notice the storms nearby. Let's see. You're welcome, Slim. No problem. Mr. Death wants to take a look at 78373. 78373. So you wanted to know if you had to evacuate or not. Okay. See, that's tough. I mean, you're right on the edge there. Just know, I probably wouldn't say you have to evacuate, honestly. I think you'd be fine. So, like I was mentioning, out in your area, we're expecting about 3 to 5 foot of storm surge out there. So, and it depends on where you're at exactly. I mean, if you're on the coast, if you're literally on the coast, then that would be a possibility. But if you're like in the interior portion of Port Arkansas, most of that is well above that realm. We are expecting a lot of rain, though, out that way. Right around 6 to 8 inches, maybe locally higher. That's a choice up to you, man. Honestly, I don't want to put that heat on me, but if it was me, I'm crazy. I would stay there, personally. That's a really tough decision to make because you're right on the coast, but like I said, it looks like that track is a little northerly, but you know it could still wobble around a bit. It could come right over you, or it could go a little more away from you. Wish I could be of more help, honestly. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that deciding factor if it's of yes or no. Like I said, if it was me, I would stay. But like I said, I'm also a crazy weather fanatic, and I love a good storm. So, I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, I think you'd be fine if you stayed, honestly, unless you're right on that coast there. But I would expect a lot of strong winds, though, for sure. But remember, those houses are built for it. Is there a chance the warnings could extend into Houston? Depends on the track. I mean, if it tracks a little north, there's a possibility tropical storm warnings could maybe extend north. But right now, they're not there, and that's as of now. If they do get added, I will let you know. How about that? Let's see. 6 to 8 inches of rain is way too much. Oh, yeah, it's a lot. When I makes landfall, if you can still see the radar, if the bad wind gusts are in the red and yellow coast. I will be live during landfall on the storm here, by the way. See, is there a chance that the warning... Oh, I already read that one, sorry. You're welcome, no problem. Let me get down to the bottom of the comments here. Press like button if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Tina says, can I check on 77511? Gotcha. 77511. You're out there in Alvin area. Okay, so you, my friend, are in a tropical storm warning. So tropical storm conditions is expected. You are expecting 4 to 6 inches of rain as well as tropical storm force winds. So, yeah. You are expecting some strong winds from the storm. The good news, though, is that you're not expecting hurricane conditions. Just expect some tropical storm force winds out there. And the good news is that you are relatively further inland. So when it comes to it, you should be relatively protected regarding storm surge. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem for you. Yeah, just look out for some gusty winds, really, and mostly just a lot of rain out there. That's the main thing. Should be fine. But we'll keep you updated with it, okay? Let's see. Roger wants me to take a look at 48382. Gotcha. Or sorry, 78382. I can't even read anymore. 78382. 78382. My brain has turned to mush. Yeah. So okay, you, my friend. Yeah. So you're in one of the heavy areas here. You're in the hurricane warning. So obviously hurricane conditions is expected out there. We are expecting, like I was mentioning, 4 to 6 foot of storm surge out there on the coast, okay? Hurricane warnings, you're expecting the potential for hurricane conditions, including wind speeds, up to hurricane force expected. And there's a chance out there by where you're at that we could have some areas nearby up to 8 to 12 inches of rain. A lot of rain out there. I'll even show you that map here. Here's the latest map regarding the rainfall totals. The point of landfall in that orange area could see 8 to 12 inches. So that's something that we need to consider. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of rain coming in, but yeah, between a lot of heavy rain and storm surge and strong winds, yeah, you're hopefully you're prepared for it, man. Like I said, I want you to be weather aware. Let's see here.
Tornado warning has been issued.
Oh, got a tornado warning somewhere in the U.S. Let's see real quickly where that's at real quickly, y'all. Let me pull this up. Hasn't popped up. Probably Kansas. Got a couple storms out there. We'll get to that here in a minute when it pops up. Yep, Great County, Kansas. Let's see. How about 77642? Let's see, 77642. This is for Port Arthur. Yep, so you're not in any warnings per se. You're not in any hurricane or tropical storm warnings, so you're good. But 4 to 6 inches of rain is the expectancy overall. Let's see here. Let me see here. Kimberly Or hold on, did I accidentally go a little too far here in the chat? I'm sorry. It's hard to keep up because the chat always keeps me. It always pushes down, so it wants to keep down. Let's see here. You're welcome, Tina. No problem. Kimberly wants me to take a look at 71405. 71405. Gotcha. In Louisiana. Yeah, you're good. The only thing you can expect is a little bit of rain, 1 to 2 inches. Other than that, no winds really. You might get a little bit of winds, a little bit of breezy conditions, but yeah, nothing big, nothing concerning. Yeah, just 1 to 2 inches of rain. Just wants to take a look here. Zip code. Let's see here. Oh, we can't figure out the eye wall is coming. Let's see, 78418. 78418. Corpus Christi, gotcha. Yeah, Corpus Christi. We do got ourselves hurricane warnings out there. So obviously, yeah, we're in kind of the heavy zone here regarding impacts. The eye will likely pass to your north. However, some changes in that direction, could make it closer to you, could make it a little further away from you. So, yeah, you're in hurricane conditions. I want you to be prepared. Obviously, make sure you have food and water and all the necessities, everything ready to go. So that's what I want you all to do. Is just be ready for it. Make sure you have water, food, flashlight, extra batteries, weather radio possibly. Make sure your phone's charged, have battery banks. If you have a generator, make sure there's enough gas in that. Fill up your cars, and that should be mostly good. Make sure you have all your important documents together as well. But that's mostly what you got to do. Let's see here. What about Humboldt, Texas? Gotcha. Let me take a look real quickly. Humboldt, Texas. Gotcha. If you guys are enjoying this, consider doing me a favor, hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like if you haven't already. Be greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you. I hate being that typical YouTuber, but it really does help out the channel, man. It really sure does. Plus helps get that word out there. So, yeah, for you, my friend, you're not in the tropical storm warnings. You're actually in no warnings right now regarding the storm. So no hurricane warnings, no tropical storm warnings. However, you could expect about 4 to 6 inches of rain. So flooding is going to be a potential, like I said, going to be a potential issue out there. What's up, Omar? Hope you're doing good, man. Hope all is good with you. Let's see. You're welcome, Kimberly. No problem. What's up, Davis? Hope you're doing good. I'm really worried about the hurricane moving more to Houston. At this point, I'd say it's a little unlikely that it will. Let's see here. Working overtime tonight. Yeah, we had to do a pretty decent live stream earlier today and doing this one now. It's good to get that word out there, man. But I hope you're doing good, Omar. See, Beryl just tweeted that she's keeping us waiting. What? What are we talking about, Isabel? Let's see. All right, let me go scroll down here to the latest comment. You're welcome, Kimberly. No problem. Yep, have cash. Good suggestion, Omar. Let's see. Anonymous says, what about 77532? 77532. Crosby, Texas. Yeah, about 4 to 6 inches of rain is expected. You're far enough from those surge concerns. You're just shy of those tropical storm warnings, though. There could definitely be some gusty winds overall, for sure. But yeah, you're just shy of those tropical storm. I wouldn't be surprised if you had some gust in the tropical storm realm, but not hurricanes. So that's good. Let's see here. If you have time to check 77434. Gotcha, my friend. No problem, Joe. 77434, 77434. Gotcha. Eagle Lake. Let's see. Okay, you're in a tropical storm warning, so tropical storm conditions is expected for you. Like I mentioned, for you as well as others, you're far enough inland to where you're not going to have a concern regarding like surges and stuff like that. So that's great news. That's great news. Your thing is, though, since you're west of Houston, we are expecting about 4 to 6 inches of rain. Actually, you're getting closer to 6 to 8, a little bit to the west of you, right around 6 to 8 overall. Let's see here. This is truly the best YouTube channel I've subscribed to that actually reads the chat. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad to help out, my friend. like I said, I try to get to everybody. It's kind of hard for one person to go through all the comments. So I sure try my best because I want input, and I want to make this as like personal as possible to help y'all out to the best of my abilities. You know, it's the most efficient way of or the most effective. Might not be the most efficient, but it's the most effective way of getting people prepared is by directly talking with them and letting them know what to expect. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat, guys. I'm going to keep it up to date here. Sorry, it's just getting a... Let's see here. Isabella says I mentioned you. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'll check it after stream, Isabel. Let's see here. You're welcome, Levy. No problem. Let's see. Samuel wants me to take a look here at 39183. Gotcha, my friend. 39183. Vicksburg, Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi's good. Tina, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. That's very nice of you. Tina, thank you for that. That is really sweet. So Mississippi, we're good. There could be a little bit of rain out there. Some areas could locally get up to 1 to 2 inches, but other than that, not really any concern. But Tina, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate that, my friend. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you for the support. That really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. Let's see. Bradley wants me to take a look at 77808. Let's see here. 77808. We are up here in Bryan, Texas. Let's see. Okay, so so the center of that storm is going to be passing nearby. You're kind of in the middle of the cone there. However, the good news is that you're far away from the coast. You're under no tropical storm warnings or anything like that. There could be some gusty winds out there as the storm nears you. Not to mention, out there by you, you could see about 6 to 8 inches of rain out there. There's a good amount of rain potential out in that region. So that is that. Let's see here. We'll be just fine. Just some rain. Yeah, for the people to coast, though, yeah, the flooding is the biggest concern overall. See, I've been in Houston too long, I'm being honest. Yeah, thankfully, Houston, the storm should remain to the south of Houston for the most part, so that'll be good. Let's see here. I have vacation in Fort Worth, Texas next weekend. How will the weather be? Shouldn't be a hurricane. I'll tell you that one. It shouldn't be a hurricane. Like I was saying, y'all, after this, we have a bit of Saharan dust that's kind of stunting the growth of any tropical development right now. So it should be a temporary break of, like I said, it should be a temporary break of tropical weather after this, hopefully. But, you know, nature's crazy. Tina says, you're very welcome. Thank you for keeping me informed. Anytime, Tina. Once again, thank you. I really appreciate that, my friend. Text says, weather experts just confirmed that this is not going to be a repeat of Harvey. She's moving very quickly. No way for 40 inches of rain. Yeah, I've said that many, many times here. Yeah, it's not going to be anything like Harvey. Plus, Harvey was a Cat 4, which was an upper-level hurricane. This one's kind of a lower-level hurricane. And not to mention, hitting different areas. Harvey was more up north, from what I remember, right next to Houston. But yeah, the storm's it's not going to sit. It's not going to stall. It's going to keep on moving overall. Let's see here. What about Alaska? I don't think we're going to have any tropical activity up in Alaska. Are they still getting snow up there? I could swear this time of the year it's usually pretty nice, actually. I've always heard it's like in the 70s around this time of the year. It's like the hottest they get. Let's see. What about a tornado outlook in Louisiana, Mississippi? So the SPC, yeah, we'll do that real quickly. Let me bring up SPC for you. So for today, we're not expecting anything, but here's the thing, my friend. Later tomorrow, we're going to start to get some of those bands rolling into the coast of Texas out there. Let me bring this down just a tad. So we're going to start to get, like I said, we're going to start to get a little bit of those bands starting to impact the coast there. We have a 5% chance for tornadoes, including Houston. Let's see, Pasadena, Sugar Land, Missouri City, and Baytown areas. You guys are in that 5% chance. Tomorrow, Oklahoma just doing Oklahoma things in the west. Got a little 2% tornado risk out there. possibility up there for, an isolated tornado or two. Nothing crazy. Then, of course, for day 3 outlook for Monday, the main day of that tropical cyclone making landfall, we do got a marginal going into central and western Louisiana out there, and, of course, a little slight risk in far eastern on the northern coast of Texas. Let's see. I think they actually had a severe thunderstorm a week or two ago. Wow. Temps reach 80s and possibly 90s. Considering how warm it's been all around the world, I ain't surprised. I really ain't surprised, to be honest with you. What about 78520? Got you, my friend. Here, let's see here. 78520, 78520 for Brownsville. Oh, yeah, Brownsville. So you, my friend, are actually... well, the storm's going to be rubbing right to your east. You're not under any warnings. No tropical storm warnings. That's to your east. Out there by South Padre Island for more of the coast. So you're good, my friend. However, we could expect 2 to 4 inches of rain overall, which could be, a little bit of a flooding concern out there. We already do have a moderate risk for flooding, which is a level 3 out of 4 on the spectrum. What about, is it Lizzie? Lizzie, Texas, Lissie. Did I spell that right? Yeah, is it I'm not sure you said it. Lizzie, I think. Anyways, this area is under a tropical storm warning. Okay, so tropical storm conditions is expected. Expect some gusty winds out there. Storm's supposed to make landfall just to your south, but it's going to quickly run out of steam once he heads inland. You're under a tropical storm warning, so tropical storm winds are going to be quite possible out by you. When it comes to the rainfall, it looks like you're going to be right on the edge between 4 to 6 and 6 to 8. I'll keep you posted, but at least 4 to 6 inches of rainfall is expected out there. Forecast for Starship. They better not launch on Monday, I'll tell you that. Yeah, this storm is going to be pretty impactful for those areas down there, too, up there in Starbase, down there in South Texas. So it's going to be a little iffy. But luckily, they're not launching anytime soon. I don't think they're going to launch this month. I think they said maybe late this month is the next launch, from what I heard. But yeah, this is not going to have any problem with Starship. Shouldn't, hopefully. Let's see here. Let's see. Michelle wants me to take a look at 78645. 78645. Gotcha. Let's see. This area is out by Austin. Okay, so we're going to see 2 to 4 inches of rain out here. The good news is that the storm is going to be to your east mostly. And there's no tropical storm conditions expected out there by you. You could get some gusts, of course. Could get a little gusty out there, but overall it should be relatively good. Regarding the winds, it should be a little calmer out there. You're welcome, Kale, no problem. Looking at spaghetti on plots on the news, things still moving east. Yeah, it's kind of holding its place, honestly. Yeah, there's your latest spaghetti plots. They've really dialed in out there, just slightly north of Corpus Christi regarding landfall. But we'll see. There still is a little wiggle room left, considering we're not quite at landfall yet, but we're getting closer. Let's see. What about Tyler, Texas? Let's see here. Tyler, Texas. Okay, yeah, Tyler, Texas. That, let's see here. Yeah, so Tyler, Texas there, the core of the storm could roll near, but at the time being, good news, it'll be right around tropical depression status, so you could get some gusty winds, maybe up 30 miles an hour or so, roughly, of course. But yeah, so that's that. 30 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts up to 40 overall. Tyler, Texas is actually set to see a lot of rain. You guys are in the realm of 6 to 8, sorry. Yeah, 6 to 8 inches. Wanted to make sure on that. Let's see here. Director wants me to take a look at 77465. Let's see, 77465. Gotcha. Like I said, I'm trying to get to y'all. Like I said, there's a lot of people here tonight, so trying to be the most trying to be the most effective getting through this. So you're in a hurricane warning, my friend. You are expecting some hurricane conditions. The likely landfall is going to be right around your area, actually, maybe slightly to your left or your west slightly. It's going to be nearby, though. When it comes to the amount of rain, you're expecting around 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. So a lot of rain out there. Surges, we're expecting around 4 to 6. Imagine that. Imagine 4 to 6 inches of surge. No, 4 to 6 foot of surge out there. That's like tropical depression surges. 4 to 6 inches of surging. Let's see here. Burns wants me to take a look here at 75771. Gotcha, 75771. If you guys could do me a favor, consider leaving a like and hitting that subscribe button for me. It'll be much appreciated. You know, like I said, I'm here for you. I'm here helping you all out. If you could do me a favor, help me out as well. Like I said, it'll be greatly appreciated. Yeah, so same area out there by Tyler, Texas. You know, tropical depression status, but we could see a good amount of rain out there. Oh, the cone. The cone just updated. Hold on a minute. 80. Ooh. Did we get we got a new advisory. That's what happened. Oh, buddy. So it looks like landfall. Wow, dude. Oh, I'm going to need some coffee in the morning for that. Holy cow. So it's going to be making landfall at 8 a.m. It's going to be, in the process of going inland at 8 a.m. So I'm going to need to be live at like, let's see here. Ooh, dude. That's at 8 p.m. Yeah, look, at 8 p.m. on the latest track here, sustained of 85. Still a good little distance off the coast. I mean, believe it or not, in that short of a distance, there could still be some strengthening. Let's see here. P. Burns wants me to take a look at 75771. 75771. This is out there in Lindale, Texas. Hold on, let me pull this up. Did I already do that one? Lindale, Texas. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So out there by Tyler, Texas. Yeah. About 6 to 8 inches of is expected out there. All right, I'm gonna try to keep up with everybody. You're welcome, Michelle. No problem. All right, let's see. Can I check on, let's see here, 98251. Sorry if I'm accidentally skipping over, guys. It's not intentional, y'all. I'm just trying to keep up with everything here, man. It's a little difficult. Let's see here. This is in Washington. Yeah. No, this thing's nowhere near you. Should be good. Pressure down to 993, really. Is it up to 65 yet, I'm guessing? Let's see here. Let me pull this Hurricane Center up here. Nope, she's still at 60. Beryl be forecast to strengthen to a hurricane before landfall. Hurricane and storm surge warnings in effect. Basically what we've been talking about. Yeah, there's that the flood outlook for you. Once again, we do have a moderate risk for flooding out there overall. So yeah, in the red, there's at least a 40% chance of flooding out there every 25 miles there. Let's see here. Darian, let's see. Can I check on 98251? Did I already do that one? 98251. Yeah, that's one I was in Washington. Sorry, just trying to keep up. Alan 77904. 77904. Let's see here. Victoria. Yeah, I think Victoria is going to have one of the heaviest hitting areas here, honestly. So as you can see, as the storm approaches you for right around 8 o'clock in the morning here for the 8th or Monday, we could have sustained winds right next to you near 85 with gusts up to 105 overall. So unfortunately, we are talking some kind of mid-level category 1 up hurricane forces are possible near Victoria. So yeah, certainly want to be careful out there. Around 8 to 12 inches is possible out in that region of rainfall. Let's see here. I got lost in Tyler, Texas when I was young. Oh, wow. That's not good. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to scroll down here. Wow, I'm really far behind. All right, I'm gonna scroll down the bottom. If I accidentally go through, yeah, I'm so sorry. All right, let's see here. You're welcome. Never you, no problem. Isabel says, will the moon be impacted? Not the moon, but Mars. Mars northern poles, I think will have a heavy hit from the storm here. Yeah, it's going to go post-tropical once it gets up in upper... let's see here. Kind of looks like shear's ripping it apart. No, it's just struggling with a bit of convection right now because of that dry air, but that's going to improve overnight. Levy wants me to take a look at 77354. 77354. Gotcha. Texas. Okay, so you, my friend. Oh, whoa! Hold on a minute, y'all. Breaking news. Houston is now in a tropical storm warning. Yes, indeed. Yep, Houston, look at that. Houston's now in a tropical storm warning, y'all. That is some breaking news coming right on in here. Wow, dude. Man. Let's see. I want to scroll down here. When I was 18, left home to go to the wrong bus, had to walk all the way back. Oh, that's... Wow, that's crazy. I'm glad you're all right, my friend. Gauge 77355. Let's see here. 77355. Sorry, I'm just getting all caught up in it behind here. Okay, so you, my friend, you are not in the... you're not in the tropical storm warning, but you're right on the edge of it. I would definitely say tropical wind gusts, tropical storm wind force wind gusts are possible. Yeah, about 4 to 6 inches of rainfall is expected out there overall. Let's see. You're welcome, Levy. No problem. See, I'm in Houston. Yeah, they just updated those to tropical storm warnings. There's a tornado warning in Kansas. Can I briefly check it out? Yeah, I got you, my friend. Let me pull up GR2 here. It's for Gray County, Kansas. Got a tornado warning in place out there. We'll, there's a lot of reports out there of some winds. Holy cow. Holy hail. That's a lot of hail report up in southern Nebraska today. It's got a bit of an inflow notch. Wow. Whoa. Holy cow. 72 dBz. That's a pretty high reflectivity. Looks pretty broad right now. Let's see. Golf ball hail and radar indicated rotation. Yeah, like I was saying out there, y'all, that's for Gray County, Kansas. All right, let's see here. Will it make landfall tonight? No. No, it's going to make landfall Monday morning, early, before sunrise, right around sunrise. Like I said, that's what I was saying. I'm going to need some coffee. I'm going to need some coffee for the live coverage we're going to do on landfall here. It's going to be quite a quite a stream, quite early. Let's see. See, Andrew, been weird storms all over the country today. 2 tornado warnings. Out NOAA warning. Without a tornado warning. Yeah, that happens, unfortunately, sometimes. There was a big incident that happened a while ago. Some of you guys will probably remember that one. Clarissa wants me to take a look here at 78332. Alrighty, gotcha. Like I said, if I went over your comment, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to keep up with everybody. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so you're not under any warning. There's no tropical storm warning or anything like that in effect for you right now, so we're good. So the thing is, though, is that we are going to see the possibility out where you're at, right around maybe 2 to 4 inches overall. Let's see. Andrew, will you be surprised if this storm becomes a Category 2 or low in Cat 3? So my personal predictions is that this thing will become a low in Cat 2. I think it'll be a low in Category 2, just shy of 100 sustained by the time it makes landfall. We'll probably be, my personal opinion, I think we'll probably be like 96-ish sustained. upon landfall. My opinion, like I said, low end Cat 2, upper end Cat 1 is what I think. Cat 3, I don't think it has enough time to do much activity by the time it rams its way into Texas. You know, it's only a small open window of the point it can strengthen. Starting tonight, and it has until Monday morning, so a whole day of strengthening. We'll see what it can do. But I tell you what, man, I will say this: this storm has never let us down. Has never disappointed us, because this thing has been above and beyond the whole time. Let's see, about what time? So landfall will be for Monday morning around like 5 a.m.-ish. 5 a.m.-ish, roughly. We still haven't narrowed that time to the hour yet, but roughly. It'll be early. It'll be early. Let's see here. You're welcome, Chris. No problem. We did not quiz zip codes, no. Some streams I do them, some streams I don't. See, way too close for Cat 3. I think it'll be low in Cat 2, personally. I don't think it'll get up to Cat 3. It's too, I think it's too much for that. When should it strengthen? As early as tonight. Yep. She is, like I said, she's battling some dry air right now. She's got a lot of dry air on her southern and eastern flank. And as we progress into early tomorrow morning, before sunrise, there's going to be some of that moisture on the western side that's going to start infiltrating the eastern side of the storm. So let me show you a visual of that. Back over to the models here. We'll use HWRF as an example. It's a general thing between all the models, so all the models are suggesting this, FYI. So, yeah, so we go back in time. So we're roughly right around here at this point in time. So there's a lot of dry air in the southeastern side of the storm. And as we go into tonight, you can see, first of all, so there's your central low. The eastern side is very dry, showing that tannish brown color. And, of course, as we continue our northwesterly movement here, we're going to start to get that moisture coming back into the eastern side here. And it is going to essentially, start convecting on all sides again. Therefore, it should allow the storm to pick up in intensity. Let's see here. If had another day in the Gulf, it would go to 3 easy. Depends on other conditions. I mean, remember, you can't just forecast tropical cyclones just based off of SSTs, sea surface temperatures alone. There's also moisture. There's also wind shear. If there's too much winds in our atmosphere that's not a part of the storm, that's venting on the storm itself, that will allow the storm to destabilize and just fall apart. Let's see here. But yeah. But a reminder, shear literally did nothing to Beryl. 20 knots of shear, and it did EWRC and strengthen. It didn't like it, but it held together better than I thought it would. She powered through, didn't she? First hurricane this season, man. Cat 5. It's like, dude, that's just wild. As it passed through the Windward Islands out there, that is just, that's just absolutely crazy, man. Let's see. Is it mirror? Are those buoyant gravity waves, acoustic gravity waves, going off Texas? Seems like the waves from the north are choking the storm's outflow in the north. I know. Let's see. I don't know if they're visible on radar. Those gravity waves, I know they are visible. They're very interesting gravity waves. I don't see any gravity waves per se. But I doubt even gravity waves have any effect on a hurricane. Let's see here. Let's see. JYL says, how is it looking for 77566? Let's see here. 77566. Gotcha. You're up in Lake Jackson area. Let's go and hop y'all back over here, y'all. We are in a tropical storm warning, my friend. Tropical storm conditions is expected out that way. You are just shy of Houston. shy of Houston. So that puts you right around 4 to 6 inches of rain, my friend. A lot of rain. Tropical storm conditions is expected. So expect some gusty winds up to tropical storm force, as well as, like I said, 4 to 6 inches of rain out there. Let's see. NHC calls for possible rapid intensification in their new discussion. Really? Wow. You know what? I ain't surprised though. You know, like I said, she's gonna roll into pretty conducive conditions. You know, she's gonna run into some conditions where no wind shear hardly at all. She's gonna run into a good amount of moisture finally tonight, as well as you know, there's really warm sea surface temperatures off the coast of Texas out there. I think we're 29 Celsius right now. Let me verify. Let me fact check that real quick. Yeah, 29 Celsius. I'll even show you, just to show you. Yeah, so 29 Celsius right now is the waters. Warm. Very warm. Florida's going to get at least one nasty one this season. Wouldn't surprise me. We are expecting a heavy season this year. So, is on tomorrow, next live stream start time. So Samuel, tomorrow, remember, tomorrow is not the day of landfall. We have all tomorrow to do update forecast. So tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to do another live stream update with y'all, probably 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And then we'll go live in the evening again for the final update. Then I'm going to head to bed, and then I'm going to wake up for coverage the next morning. That's the plan, y'all. Plan 2 more updates on the system after this stream, and then we'll do coverage mode. And then after coverage, we'll be done with Beryl. Cracker Barrel will be gone. Dude, all this Cracker Barrel talk's got me wanting them, what is it? They're dumplings. Y'all know Cracker Barrel's dumplings? Dude, they're so good, dude. I've been saying, so fun fact, I've been calling Beryl Cracker Barrel. That's the official nickname I've given it ever since it went through the Lesser Antilles. That's the official name, and I've been wanting some Cracker Barrel dumplings ever since. So yeah, a new subscriber, not disappointed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Let's see here. Oh, dude, don't even get me started on the people on TikTok. Nope. They're, yeah. Nothing but fear-mongering on TikTok, that's for sure. You know, like I said here, I give you actual information, you know, models and Hurricane Center guidance and, you know, actual statistics. Those channels are just meant for profits and just meant to, you know, scare you, essentially. And, you know, like I even tell you all not to donate on this channel. I have it open because, you know, obviously to help keep us going, of course, but I tell you specifically not to. You know, I'm not in it for the money. I've always just loved the weather, man. Just love it. I don't love what it does to people, but it's super interesting. Look at that. We're starting to get some of those outer bands visible well off the coast of Texas there. Pretty far away. Let's see. But let me know, y'all, if y'all have any questions. Yeah, Cracker Barrel. I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. So it has another day to possibly re-energize, possibly. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow there's going to be a good potential that it could pick up on intensity overall. See, I picked a good channel. Thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all's support. All right, y'all. Oh shoot, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we gotta head off here soon. I got some things I gotta do. I'm actually a little bit late. Sorry. This stream was meant to last 2 hours. I actually went ahead. I didn't realize that we're 2 hours and 8 minutes into the stream. Okay. So I'm gonna head off here. Let me do one more talk about the overall outlook. This will be the final update here, real quickly, guys. Well, until tomorrow, of course. But for today, let me go ahead and bring y'all over here real quickly. We're gonna talk storm surge real quick. We're gonna do one more final discussion on everything, and then we're gonna call it a stream. So let's go ahead and roll back over here. So, anyways, here's regarding storm surge out there up in southwestern Louisiana, towards Cameron to Sabine. yeah, I'm not too sure how you say that. 1 to 3 foot storm surge expected. Between there and High Island, 2 to 4. The Galveston Bay out by Freeport and High Island, 3 to 5 foot of storm surge expected. From Freeport to Mesquite. Is it Mesquite? What is that? How do you say this? Mesquite? I don't know. Y'all, please help me with that. How do you pronounce that? Okay, whatever bay that is. The Matagorda Bay, 4 to 6 foot. That's where your heaviest storm surge is expected. Out there by Corpus Christi Bay, 3 to 5 foot of storm surge expected. The north entrance of Padre Island down to the mouth of the Rio Grande, 2 to 4 foot of storm surge out there. Rainfall projections. Rainfall overall, we are talking Houston, 4 to 6 inches of rain. San Antonio, 1 to 2. Corpus Christi, 2 to 4. Waco, 2 to 4. Dallas, 1 to 2. Shreveport, 2 to 4. Lake Charles, 2 to 4. Little Rock, Arkansas, 4 to 6. Fort Smith, 2 to 4. Houston, I think we already mentioned that. Yeah, 4 to 6. But yeah, we are seeing up to 8 to 12 up there in that orange color there overall. That is where we are expecting some of the heaviest rainfall. The biggest streak of rain is going to be out there on eastern Texas, going its way into like central and southwestern Arkansas overall. So that's the latest regarding that. With flooding, we do have a moderate risk for flooding out there, a level 3 out of 4 on the spectrum. So west of Houston, got a pretty big risk. Oh. PDS severe thunderstorm warning. That's interesting. Hold on, let me look at that real quickly. Considerable severe. That's I think that's for 70 mile an hour winds. That can't be PDS. Oh, here we go. Here it is. 80 mile an hour winds on that storm. Here, let's hop over here real quickly. They just issued a new severe warning up in southwest Kansas for Montezuma out there by Ensign, Fowler, and Mineola. Southwest Kansas, y'all. Destructive storm, 80 mile an hour wind gusts, and nickel hail. Going to bring that up real quickly. Okay, then we'll do one last look here at the track, and then, like I said, we're going to head off here after that. Mesquite. Mesquite. Oh, cool. Mesquite, maybe. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for helping. I'll try to remember it, man. It's hard. So right now, current storm is a tropical storm. Beryl is currently a tropical storm here. Sustained winds of 60 miles an hour with gusts up to 70. Central low is 993 millibars. Now, by tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock in the morning here, sustained winds out there. Did this cone revert itself? I think this is the older cone. Yeah. Is this the older cone? I think this is the older one. Well, upon landfall, we are expecting landfall to be right around sustained winds of 85 miles an hour with gusts up to 100, I believe it was. Then, of course, digging its way up out there towards College Station, as it could still be a lower-end tropical storm. Then once it gets up into northeast Texas, it'll downgrade to a tropical depression overall. But that is that. But, all right, you guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and roll off here. Like I said, I was live a little bit longer than I planned on being live, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream here, y'all. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. If you haven't already, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't. Be greatly appreciated. Once again, subscribing's free. Just go down there, hit that subscribe button. Be much appreciated. Let me go ahead and go over my supporters real quickly. We did have a little bit of support on this stream, which I am very thankful for. Thank you to our Delta Trading for becoming a Tropical Stormer member. Thank you so much. And Tina, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. That was our support for the stream, so thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And alrighty, guys. Once again, thank you all for being here. Let's see here. Thank you very much, Andrew. You're doing a great, huge service to us all. You're very welcome, Lots. No problem. Let's see here. Maranatha says, good night, Andrew. Thank you. You're very welcome. You guys are very welcome. I'm glad to be here for you. Glad to help out. And if y'all could leave a like, hit the subscribe button on the way out, be much appreciated, my friends. Once again, thank you for being here. And alrighty, y'all. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up. See you later, Isabel. Thanks for joining. And everybody else, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll catch you in the next one. See you later, guys. Have a great day. Or I should say night. Have a great night. And we'll catch you on the next one. See you later, guys.